Hello, everyone. Once again, it's your friendly neighborhood Australian man. Here with some more Spidey or Spidey-related reviews. So we got the second issue, the midpoint of Spider-Force, issue number 4 of Spider-geddon, the penultimate. I think it's only 5 issues, yeah. The penultimate issue, and Web of Venom, Carnage Born. So we'll start off with Spider-Force. This was another good issue. So we get a little insight into Astro-Spider, who in this universe is, it seems like kind of he's Jonah Jameson's son, and his origin of getting his powers is, it's kind of a mixture of both Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four. So when he's launched into space, he discovers that inside of his helmet is a spider, which I presume bites him, but then gets hit by the cosmic radiation or whatever, which gives him powers. And his powers it's telepathic. He uses telepathy, able to create kind of psychic webbing to use as weapons or whatever. So it's an interesting story, and sorry, and but back to the main plot. Werner has gone into the space station where Joe James from Jonah Jameson is from, looking for was it the soul? It's like the Solus gem or whatever, to resurrect her father, while the rest of Kane's team try to work with Astro-Spider. Doesn't completely work, as he doesn't trust them and he wants to work on his own, and yada yada yada. I'm not going to spoil any of it more. This is definitely another good issue of Spider-Force. This is probably the best of the tie-ins. Worth picking it up if you're reading Spider-geddon. Although for on its own, you could probably just read it. You probably you don't necessarily have to read Spider-geddon to understand this. It's pretty much you just see Kane recruiting people for a mission. So there we go. And on to mentioning Spider-geddon, on to Spider-geddon number 4. This was another good issue. So kind of connecting to Spider-Force, Jessica Drew, Spider-Woman, seems like she escapes. Seems like she will escape at the end of Spider-Force, but it's all she gets led to the Inheritors, where they have the because she has the crystal containing their father's essence. Solus, Solus is the father's name, yes. And they are able to resurrect him, while the rest of the spiders try to find a weapon to use against the Inheritors. They hopefully try to use the Enigma Force, despite the fact that the Spider-Man that was Captain Universe in that universe tried to use the Enigma Force against the Inheritors and died, despite being all powerful. He still died. But there is a split between the spiders. Norman no longer wants to follow superior Spider-Man, so he and Spiders-Man head off. But their plan is to trap the Inheritors on Earth 616 and cut off all ability to travel between the multiverse, essentially, at least for the spiders. And that's the main plot of the issue. I'm not going to spoil the end. There's another kind of twist turn at the end, so you'll have to read it if you want to know what it is. I've been enjoying Spider-geddon so far. It gets silly in parts. I still maintain it doesn't need to exist, but it's a good story. I'll definitely give it that. So on to the absolute best of the 3, Web of Venom, Carnage Born. Holy shit, this is a great comic. So it starts off with a little kind of recounting of Cletus Kassady's birth, and how he originally died at birth before coming back, and pretty much his whole it pretty much summarizes his origins to becoming Carnage, and also there is a cult that worships that symbiote god Null, and they believe that Cletus and Carnage are the key to helping bring Null back. As such, they kind of, and it also shows how Cletus came back pretty much and survived, because shown in given that he looks like a poison here, this is obviously Carnage from the events of Venomized, which features the poisons, the kind of the natural predators of the symbiotes. They're kind of like symbiotes themselves. They're symbiotes that take over symbiotes. It's very meta, but this cult is able to retrieve Cletus's body, and with one of the symbiote dragons, Codex, is able to bring back. That's not Carnage. It's still a little terrifying, but it's not particularly Carnage yet, until he kills one of the followers, and Carnage is properly back, but he needs more, and but he also wants to communicate with Null, and he finds out what his mission is, and I'm going to leave it there. So this takes place slightly after the most recent Venom, because the cult and Cletus appear in the last panel. But my god, this was good. This is definitely a good comic. Anything Venom by Cates is just amazing. This is another one of the Web of Venom Carnage Born. Definitely a recommend. Definitely pick it up. And that's it for these Spidey or Spidey related reviews. Spider-Force number 2, Spider-geddon 4, and Web of Venom Carnage Born. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man.